Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kylie, and this is Dora, Emily. Today we are going to inform you all on reduced inequality, SDG 10. This topic will address inequality in all aspects of life. First, let me explain what inequality means. Inequality refers to the gap between people and the unequal treatment among people. There are so many inequality happens in the world: racism, gender gap, or the gap between rich and poor. And if these issues are not resolved, there will be an endless circle.
Equality is a global issue that needs to address it because there are many developing groups in the world. Take racism for example. People who experience racism might be denied social interaction or shared resources by others. What's worse is that some governments today still promote racial discrimination.
Many women in some countries believe that they don't need an education. They just need to take care of their children and please their husbands. However, women are also human beings and should enjoy the basic right of education, which should not be deprived by others. Like the wage between men and women, why do men earn more than women? When it comes to salary differences, the explanation that most people think of should be gender discriminations. Most female workers may become mothers in the future. It affects their careers, so the employers are often default their work productivity and treat them equality by choosing men over women at most job positions. There are less hospitals in countrysides. In large cities, there are relatively more resources because they are more prosperous and have larger populations. There are less hospitals in rural areas. This results the people who live in rural areas need to travel long distances to larger cities for better health care.
Racial discrimination has been an issue for a very long time, ever since that people began moving from one part of the world to another. This discrimination has created disunited, conflict, and sometimes death. In 2020, a black man was wrongly treated by the police, which resulted in his death. In turn, it sparked the Black Lives Matter movement. In our world today, it's not only black, but also Hispanic, Asian, Jews often face discrimination. We can't define a person by their color or race. We should put ourselves in their shoes and understand that everyone is human. Religion is also a major area where many people experience inequality. For example, in some beaches in France, when the government had banned people from wearing full body covering from entering the beach. For Muslim girls who mostly cover their whole body, this is very unfair to them. And those who obey the rules are usually arrested. Everyone should have religion freedom and should not be raised by others.
There is also a lot of economic inequality happens in many cities. For example, there are many slums next to Mumbai, India. A large number of farmers are flocking into the cities in search of a better job, but many of them cannot afford the cost of living in the cities, so usually they end up living in slums. But take Japan for example, where the government has created a special local housing for low-income families to rent, and this is a very good way.
First, with salary issue, we need salary transparencies. It is aimed to close the gender and racial pay gap and help militaries and women to better compete in the labor market. Second, and one way to address a lack of resources is to develop tourism in rural areas. By developing the rural areas industry and attracting more tourism to these areas, making these regions gain popularity and generate revenue, which can be used for better medical health care and provide people for better health care. We can also help these people through charitable organizations. Third, in terms of racial and religions inequalities, the government should educate the younger generations and promote racial and religious equalities in schools so that the students can cultivate these forms of equalities in an early age.
4. Equality between rich and poor. For those low-income families, government department can subsidize fundraising for those low-income families. Those funds can help educate families.
We can also buy fair sale of items. International Trade Organization has laid the foundation for the global fair trade standard, which means production and processing are all open and transparent. When an item bears the fair trade seal, which means it has been audited by International Trade Organization, and the producers are required to use sustainable methods to produce products that are friendly to the environment, healthier to consumers, and fairly to the farmers.
In conclusion, we all know that ending inequality is a very important goal. Everyone in the world has their unique views. With many reasons and methods, there are no excuses for the inequality still happening in the world. We need to do our best to help those people in the world who suffer from inequalities. They all need our help.
Thank you.